You know, sometimes I wonder what it would be like if I just recorded all of my videos like this now. My new lens makes it so that you can kind of see me. Then I don't gotta turn on the lights and blind my baby and make it really hot in my room. EposVox Noir. Well, I finally did it. Complaints that I've received on my channel since the dawn of time about having a big microphone in front of my mouth. I've gotten rid of it. Ever since having my baby and being completely unable to just record videos whenever I want like I used to and really kind of, just record all the time, I've been working a lot on really refining my workflows. I'm working on new OBS layouts. I have a whole new series coming on building a stream layout and things like that to optimize everything. I've been making changes at my desk. New desks too are coming soon. And I've been reworking how my audio and everything is set up. And I've gone back from using the same microphone for both game streaming over here and recording videos here because of the shielding issues I've talked about with my RE20, or actually my RE320 versus the Shure SM7B I was using, to having two microphones where I have a dedicated microphone here that is always ready to go to record videos and a separate microphone over on this gaming side for when I live stream. Normally, I'm not bothered by the idea of having a microphone that's in your face or whatever in videos. I don't consider it unprofessional. It's part of the desktop broadcast format here. It's whatever. But I do see the appeal of not needing to move it around, to always just have this one up and out of the way, ready for me to record at any point in time, and there's no variance in how it sounds, where it's at, what I'm doing with it, anything like that. I just set it and forget it. So naturally, I started working on a solution. Today, we're using the Rode NTG5, a microphone sent to me by Rode a few months ago, probably sometime in 2019. There were some reviews up about it, and I've used it for some videos when I was on camera, but I haven't really gotten around to reviewing, so we're kind of knocking that out with this video as well. The cool part here, you can sort of see it coming in at the top of the frame here. I actually have it mounted up with the same microphone arm setup that I was using my RE320, RE20, and SM7B at this main workstation setup here without having to change pretty much anything. But I did have to change a little bit. You see, I was originally using the Heil PL-2T with an extension arm. The extension arm you have to buy separate, but this got it up over my monitors and allowed me to record, bring the microphone arm down in my face for recordings and then push it back up. But I didn't have to have it coming from the side or over here in my way. It was never in my arm's way. I can't stand microphone arms that are physically in my way. I don't understand how you people do it where it's coming in from the side of your desk and then you're hitting it all the time. Never wanted that. And I remember when I worked in radio, we had some really tall microphone arms that went up and above and stayed completely out of the way for broadcast. That's what I set up here. Heil PL-2T with the extension arm screwed into my desk, ready to go. Well, the plan was then to use the Rode PSA-1. I always buy all the different main, big fancy microphone arms whenever I buy a new one. That way I'm always testing out the different ones. And I put the Rode PSA-1 over here on my game streaming side that I was going to use for my microphone. Rode PSA-1 mounting system was pretty great. It has a clamp system that fit perfectly in the little tiny cable cutout I have over there and fit just fine in that regard. However, putting the heavy RE20 microphone on that arm, it would just fall completely over. And there isn't really a whole lot to tighten it. And by default to me, if the microphone arm by default doesn't really support the weight of your mic, tightening it is just kind of putting a band-aid on the solution. It's not gonna hold it up very well. And everything I did, this microphone just flopped straight down. So what I ended up doing was leaving the desk clamp for the Rode PSA-1 and swapping arms with my Heil one. So my shotgun mic here is actually using the Rode PSA-1 because it's the shotgun microphone is so much more lightweight compared to my big desktop dynamic microphone. And then the Heil microphone is just plopped in the desk mount of the Rode mic. I do like that the Rode mic arm comes with a Velcro straps to tie it in there. However, the Heil microphone arm comes with an actual cable channel for you to route cables through so that you completely hide the cable for the most part, which seems preferable to me, but isn't the biggest deal in the world. As I mentioned, I'm using new camera setups. I just realized my new side camera got reset and was using slightly different exposure settings and was a little overexposed there. So what you've been hearing here and a couple other videos where I haven't had my microphone on camera that I've posted recently is that Rode NTG5. It is a shotgun microphone. I've used the Rode NTG2 in various setups. It's currently back there in my workbench setup. I've used that since 2015. It's been a great mic. It has a lot of low-end emphasis that their newer shotgun microphones don't necessarily have, but it's a full shotgun microphone. It's great. They sent over the interview kit, so it has this Rycote shock mount. It came with a little windscreen, things like that. And I've already made a whole video about my struggles finding the right setup to use a shotgun microphone at the desk. And you're going to hear some of the qualities that I struggle with this particular setup, in that there is a lot more of the reflections of my voice bouncing off of my monitors. I have 2 monitors here. It's bouncing off of these monitors into the side, more rejected parts, but still the side parts of my microphone, which can create this kind of boxy feel because it's kind of like my voice is punching a wall and coming back to it or whatever. I do have lots of sound treatment in my room. I have big desk mats on my desk to absorb some of that sound, but you still get some of that boxy feeling, especially depending on how you EQ it. I'm still working on perfecting my EQ curve. However, I've been spending a lot of time learning to EQ, and especially Joe from Home Studio Corner has made some excellent videos teaching you the fundamentals of how EQing actually works based upon, you know, the actual principles behind them. So my favorite video from him is just on written paper as he draws it out instead of using software or anything like that. So I've actually been learning EQ and trying to master it better because I've never been great at it and really kind of perfect the sound here. But I'm not necessarily sold on sticking with this microphone. It's a great microphone if you're looking for a boom mic. Some principles to keep in mind is to get it as close to your subject as possible. So I have it on this microphone arm that I have just out of frame here. You can see it barely at the top. Just slide it just out of frame and I'm good to go. Get it as close to your mic source as possible. Point a little further down than the mouth itself. Great setup. I use a shotgun microphone for my normal on-camera mic when camera's pointed this way. Works wonderful, but it is still a shotgun mic, and there are plenty of audio engineers and whoever out there that will say you should never, ever, ever use a shotgun mic indoors because it will have that boxy or warbly effect due to picking up reflections off of walls and surfaces and things like that. So a competitor to it that I have, not a competitor to that microphone like on the market, but in my workspace, I just got in the Oktava MK-012, which you may remember I reviewed a couple years ago in a big, what I called a shotgun mic roundup. Now, I misspeak on this all the time. I know this isn't a shotgun mic, nor a short shotgun mic. It is considered a dialogue mic. It is just a condenser mic. Sometimes a pencil condenser mic is kind of what some of these mics are called, but it's just a tiny little condenser microphone designed to be boomed up right next to the speaker for voice and kind of for voice indoors. But it doesn't have, you'll notice the shape of it here, doesn't really have any of those side grates to let in sound from the sides or anything like that. It has a much more refined pickup pattern, which means I might get rid of some of that extra boxiness that you're hearing right now. So I've gone through all this setup as something that I can set and forget and never touch again, but I'm gonna swap all this out and see how it sounds with this instead, in case it's a better setup. Also, if you're curious how I'm doing all of this, since I have touted how much I use the Go XLR for my dynamic microphones for my streaming purposes, I still use the Go XLR as my main audio routing hub. It's sitting right in front of me on the stand. I use it to control all of my audio levels, all of my routing, and so on, and it still powers my RE20. However, the NTG5 is currently run into a Behringer UMC 404 HD. Having some issues getting the ASIO. I always say ASIO, but people keep correcting me on that. ASIO drivers working for it and having some weird issues with it. Not a characteristic of this, just having too much audio crap on my computer. But I am getting the Audient Evo 4 in very soon that I'm going to be swapping to, that these kinds of extra microphones for review will run through. And this gets me the best of both worlds. I've got a pre-processed signal for streaming that I use for everything and then have all the audio routing controls. But then I have some audio inputs that I can use for microphone reviews and for post-processing for recording purposes, which is kind of a different workflow. And I can get both of these going at once. So this is pretty cool, but we are gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do my 3 rings read so that I can put them side by side, but we're gonna go ahead and swap to this and see how it sounds. So now I started running into the opposite problem with this Rode microphone arm, which seems to be an issue exclusive to this arm, is that the new microphone weighs so little that it didn't want to stay in the spot that I wanted. So I tightened it up a little bit, but it doesn't seem to help. Like the tightening helps when it weighs down too much and you want it to hold in a spot, but tightening it doesn't seem to help when it's bouncing back up too much. So I may have to change microphone arms again. But this is the Oktava MK-012. I feel like it needs significantly more gain than the Rode shotgun mic, but otherwise, here's how it sounds. Now, both of these microphones, since they are condensers, they do require 48 volts of phantom power. Otherwise, we've got a much more tighter pickup pattern on this microphone than the shotgun mic. Hopefully it's picking up a little bit less of the reflections in my room. I'm gonna go ahead and record the 3 rings thing so we can compare them. And then I wanna talk about some of the other background noise considerations before I let you get out of here. 3 rings for the Oven Kings under the sky. 7 for the Dwarf Lords in their halls of stone. 9 for the mortal men doomed to die. 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all. 1 ring to find them. 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. Now, you're hearing this for the first time, as I am, but I get the feeling that this probably rejects a little bit better, but you guys can make the decision in the comments down below. I am happy to go with either microphone. It's going to be out of frame. Seems to be what you guys want. You're still going to see it a little bit in this view over here, but honestly, it's not going to be noticeable enough to matter too much, IMO, but it's pretty nice. These are both great microphone, great choices, and I just wanted to cover some of my kind of decision making and the issues involved in running both 2 microphones on one setup, because you do need either a mixer or an interface with multiple inputs, and then you sacrifice things like the functionality of the Go XLR. I don't have an interface with multiple inputs at the moment. I was told that was coming soon, a dual input Go XLR, but where is it? And, you know, the issues with using an off-camera microphone. Someone might be asking, why don't all streamers then use a microphone that doesn't show up on camera? I'll cover lavs in a little bit. I get asked about that a lot as well. I'll cover that in a separate video. But you see here, once I start typing and doing mouse clicks and doing movements and whatever else, shotgun microphones and condenser microphones that are designed to be, you know, out of frame, or, you know, these kinds of microphones pick up significantly more background noise and ambience and things like that than desktop microphones and broadcast microphones, which, if they're dynamic, they're already designed to reject a lot of background noise, but they're also set up to be right in front of your mouth, so you keep gain lower, it picks up less of the surroundings and focuses in on your voice. These are not built for those kinds of situations unless you're in a vocal booth or something like that. So there's some things to keep in mind, but if you've been following my adventure of trying out different types of microphones for desktop streaming setups, here's where I'm landing for the next few months, because I want something I can just flip on. I'm actually even automating the whole thing, so I can do it with one button on my phone or my Stream Deck. I have a whole video covering that, and I want it to be out of frame so that I can keep working and then start recording seamlessly without moving things around. I do hope you enjoyed this long-winded microphone comparison and update video. Just wanted to share it with you. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more stream guides and tech education and audio product coverage, things like that. Let me know which mic is your favorite in the comment section down below. I'm EposVox, your stream professor. I'll see you next time. Go check us out on Floatplane for early access to videos and behind the scenes content. Come join us on Discord to ask all of your streaming and tech questions, as well as to chat it up about audio products and the next streaming innovations, and get some previews on content coming up. EposVox.gg/Discord.